It's 10 o'clock. Everybody, welcome in this webinar. My name is Marie-José Nassette. I'm from the World Trade Center in Twente, that is situated in the east of the Netherlands. We are present with many people from different countries all over the world. Thank you for joining us. By attending this webinar, you will connect with Dutch professionals who will deliver first-hand insights to help you bring your business or expand your business to the Netherlands and as a springboard to Europe. You will learn about the opportunities and resources available and the incentives and legal aspects around doing so. We welcome today our speakers, and I will introduce them to you in a programmatic order. First, I will start telling a bit about the soft landing program that we offer as a World Trade Center, and it's including the speakers, today's speakers, as service partners, service providers. Then we will continue with the presentation of Jessica Slachter. She's attorney at law at Damstee Lawyers and Civil Law Notaries. Hello, Jessica. Thank you for joining us. Another important aspects of setting up a new business in a new country are tax incentives in the Netherlands. This will be Mr. Arjen Ploegman, Senior International Tax Consultant from De Jong & Laan, will share his expertise with you about that part, that aspect of the soft landing. Then another aspect is, of course, opening your business bank account. Mr. Floris van Wiggen can tell you all about it. He is relationship manager at the Inbound client desk at Rabobank and responsible and very active in the onboarding of the companies. And then we will finish with Mrs. Lorien van Aswegen. She's the founder and CEO of SmartTech NXT, and she's already done this journey and coming from South Africa, established their Dutch BV, and is sharing her experience from the last years and so far. After the presentations, we will answer your questions, but you can already, and during the presentations, put your questions in the chat, please. My colleague Aaron de Meij from the World Trade Center will direct them to the speakers so they can ask your answer your questions. And during the Q&A part, we very much like a lot of interaction, so feel free to raise your hand and ask your additional question as well. It's always possible. Then please note that presentations and contact details of all the speakers will be shared with you for reference later today. And I think it's time to start the presentations. And with Jessica Slachter first. Just a second, give me just a moment, please, to open the presentation. There it's coming up. Yes. We are looking at the first slide. This is the slide from the World Trade Center and Invest in Holland, Netherlands. What I want to share with you, and it's the reason why we organize and offer you this webinar, is that we have you can use a unique soft landing program of the World Trade Center. There's a dedicated website for this, and I will share it with you later on. We started as a World Trade Center with partners the soft landing program in 2020, and since then 40 companies successfully established themselves using the soft landing program in the Netherlands, setting up and expanding their business. The speakers will tell you also why, but the Netherlands is a very good choice for expanding your business into Europe. So actually, Netherlands could be a springboard for expansion to Europe. Our soft landing program includes several services. It's very important we provide you with a business address, and this is mandatory for the deed of incorporation, registration in the trade register of the Chamber of Commerce, and so on. This is the business address is the thing the World Trade Center provides you. You will be actually a resident of the World Trade Center and therewith an official business address in the Netherlands. Furthermore, you can expect along the way assistance from us. You can reach out to us, and we have many services. As I said, I will share the link of this soft landing program, including all today's speakers, with you later today. I think now it's time to give the floor to Jessica Slachter, attorney at law Damstee, at Damstee, civil law notaries. And please, Jessica, start your presentation.
Yes, thank you, Marie-José. Thank you for introducing me. First of all, I would also like to thank you all on my behalf for joining this webinar. I hope it will be insightful and helpful for you all. So my name is Jessica Slachter, and I'm an attorney at law. I work at Damstee, lawyers and civil law notaries, and I myself am specialized in employment law, basically in its broadest sense. So I advise my clients on labor matters, but I also draft the necessary documents, correspondence, and of course, when necessary, I also litigate for them in court. So I have experience with both national and foreign clients. My foreign clients often have their main entity there, their holding company abroad, and then they have a legal entity in the Netherlands in which they have, well, employees based in the Netherlands, working in the Netherlands. However, it also often happens that foreign clients want to second their employees to the Netherlands. And also in those cases, Dutch labor law also plays a role. And that's, of course, where I come along and where I give my advice and assistance during the whole process. So like I said, I work at Damstee and I'm part of the international desk there. That's because my focus does not only lay on Dutch clients, but also the international clients. And I also have other colleagues that are part of the international desk, colleagues from other fields of law. So that's also good to know, I think, for you all. So Damstee, who are we? Well, we are one of the biggest firms in at least the east side of the Netherlands. We have different offices. We have an office in Amsterdam, and we have a few offices in the east side of the Netherlands, near the German border, actually. So we also have German lawyers working at Damstee. We have over 60 or over 180, I have to say over 60 lawyers, but 180 staff, people working at Damstee. And like I also mentioned, we are a full service law firm. So that means that we do corporate law, employment law, commercial law, litigation, IP, privacy, administrative law. So that means that if, for example, you need a permit from the municipality, we can help you with that. But also if you, for instance, would want to take over a company in the Netherlands, that is also something that we can help you with during the whole process. Also, we draft all the necessary documents you might need, like purchase agreements, distribution agreements, and other service agreements, of course, employment contracts as well, and also other schemes you might need, other documents you might need within your company, like general terms and conditions, privacy statements, etc. Actually, we do it all, and it's nice because we are a full service law firm. We have all these different, I have all these different colleagues, and we can all help you with a specific aspect you might need help with. I think also important to note is that if you would want to start a legal entity in the Netherlands, you need a civil law notary. And a civil law notary can help you with the establishment of a legal entity. We also have a civil law department, so they can also help you with this, and they can also help you drafting all the necessary documents, like bylaws you need for the entity, or other company resolutions, like shareholders resolutions, directors resolutions. Actually, everything you need to establish a company, we can help you with. So who are our clients? Our clients are mostly mid-sized and large companies, also public authorities, directors, startups. We also have a few private practices. They are specialized, for example, in family law, inheritance law, and personal injury law. So if you need help or assistance here in the Netherlands, you can call us for help, for advice. So I think this leaves the question, okay, but why would I go to the Netherlands? Why would I do business here? Well, I'm not a tax lawyer nor a tax consultant. My colleague Arjen Ploegman hereafter will tell you something about this. But in general, the Netherlands is quite tax-friendly for businesses. So I think that's a good thing. Obviously, we are also very centrally located in Europe. It's just a 1-hour flight away from, let's say, London, Paris, or Amsterdam. And the Netherlands is also well known for being a trading country, like many of you may know, right? So we also have a lot of importation and exportation goes on here. And we also have good infrastructure to this end. We have the biggest port, for example, in Rotterdam. And also, I think good to know, is that most Dutch people understand and speak Dutch quite easy or well, and that makes it easier to communicate, I think. But that's something that my colleague Laureen, I think, can elaborate on later on. And she can also tell you all about her own personal experience, because she came from South Africa to the Netherlands doing business here. She also lives here. So I will leave that up to Laureen later on. Also, something I didn't mention yet, I think, is in general, the Netherlands is also a very financial, stable country. And also my colleague Floris, colleague speaker Floris van Wiggen will also tell you something about banking and finance, which is also very, very important. So I would also now like to introduce you to, I think, Arjen Ploegman now. He can tell you something on about tax matters, let's say, in the Netherlands. So please, Arjen, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Jessica, for your kind words and for your clear introduction on the civil law aspects of working and doing business in the Netherlands. Yes, I'd like to tell you something about the tax incentives in the Netherlands. My name is Arjen Ploegman. I'm a tax advisor at De Jong en Laan. And I will tell you a little bit about the firm in the next slide. And I myself am an experienced tax advisor. For over 25 years, I've been working on advising foreign clients coming to the Netherlands and helping them with all kinds of issues that come along once you start as a foreign company working in the Netherlands. So you can think of aspects like employment, for example, a split payroll, working in different countries, the social security contributions that come along with that, and also more aspects around VAT or corporate income tax, and the split between countries. These are all matters that I've been working on for many years now. Let's see. And how about De Jong & Laan? So, as I said, I'm working for De Jong & Laan, which is a company with 25 offices in the Netherlands. We service over 10,000 clients, and we do that with a little under 1,000 staff members. And what are the services that we offer? A big part of the services that we offer are based around accountancy, which means preparing annual reports, but also supporting with bookkeeping issues. And we can provide the basic service in order to prepare the annual accounts and keeping the day-to-day bookkeeping up to date. We also have a big audit department that can support you in getting annual reports audited or other statements that needs certainty. So that's also a lot of my colleagues who work in the audit department. And then we have a tax department, which I'm also working for. So we have tax advisors supporting the clients in performing their tax obligations, which can be VAT, income tax, corporate income tax, and all other tax issues that might come along while doing business in the Netherlands. Another important part of the work that we perform is payroll work. So we support employers in getting the payroll run in the Netherlands and making sure that all the personnel matters are handled and supported by our team. And then we have some other services that we provide, like corporate finance, family advice, IT advice, and strategic advice, and subsidy advice. So that's about the services that we offer as De Jong & Laan. And then on this next slide, I will show you. You can see a map of the Netherlands. You see all the black dots showing the offices that we work from. And we have 2 experts centers. One, you see the white dot on the left, which is in Amsterdam based, which is our expert centers. And another one based in the east, in Almelo, close to the WTC Twente as well. And in those 2 offices, me and my colleagues are working on supporting clients, especially on specialistic subjects. And then I'd like to tell you a little bit about some attractive tax incentives that we have in the Netherlands. The first item that I'd like to mention to you is the 30% ruling incentive. This is a payroll incentive, which is attractive for employees, and then especially foreign, highly skilled employees. So if you are deciding to send staff to the Netherlands, which is highly skilled, then the 30% ruling might be applicable to your staff. And the attractive part is that 30% of the salary can be paid out tax-free. And this 30% ruling incentive could be valid for 5 years after arrival of the employee. It is necessary to work in the Netherlands, but your foreign staff that is working in the Netherlands will receive 30% of the salary tax-free, which is of course a very attractive incentive and makes it life in the Netherlands a bit more affordable. Also, foreign students that study in the Netherlands could be eligible for this incentive if they decide to stay to work in the Netherlands after they finish their studies. And currently we have in Parliament some discussions, and the 30% ruling is also under some changes, but it is clear that our government is strongly making sure that the 30% ruling remains in place. There might be some changes coming up in the next 2 years, but the ruling itself and the incentive will remain in place. So this is important for you to know. Once you decide to come to the Netherlands and send staff over here, this is definitely something you should look into for your staff. And then I'd like to tell you something about another incentive, which is attractive for you as an entrepreneur. This is the Innovation Box. The Innovation Box is an incentive in the corporate income tax in the Netherlands. And it means that if you create a profit from innovation work that has been done in the Netherlands, it is this profit will be taxed at a reduced rate of 9%. So the normal corporate income tax rates in the Netherlands are between 19 and 25.8%. But if you're able to create a profit from innovational work performed in the Netherlands, so from innovative research, then this profit will be taxed at a reduced rate of 9%. And which profit could that be? That is profit that results from R&D work that you did in the Netherlands, or from patents that you have created based on intellectual property work in the Netherlands. And it is required in many cases to get an S&O declaration, as they call it. This is a payroll subsidy also for R&D work. So it's in many cases, it's a combination of Innovation Box and an S&O declaration that could be requested in the Netherlands. And this makes it very attractive to perform your R&D work in the Netherlands, for example, in cooperation with also universities or other scientific work, or with highly skilled labor, which is very good available in the Netherlands as well. So then, as a third point, I'd like to tell you something about the VAT, a whole different subject. So in the Netherlands, we have a VAT with a general rate of 21%, and which means that if you decide to import goods in the European Union at the point of entry, for example, in the Rotterdam harbor, you will have to pay 21% VAT at customs. So this could be a big amount that you have to finance or pre-finance because you're eligible to claim it back at a certain point. But in requesting an Article 23 permit, an import permit, we can support you with that. And once you have such a permit, you do not have to pay this 21% at the point of entry. So this is also, if you're interested in importing goods in the European Union, it might be very attractive to do this through Rotterdam, and we are happy to support you in getting such a permit, which is of course, a big liquidity advantage. So I hope to have shown you a few very interesting tax incentives that we offer in the Netherlands, and I will be very happy to tell you more about it. If you're interested in that, you can see my contact details on the current slide. And then I hope to have told you in this way a bit about the tax possibilities in the Netherlands. And I will be now happy to pass on the presentation to Floris, who's working for Rabobank, and he will tell you more about the banking possibilities in the Netherlands.
Yes, thank you so much, Arjen. Thank you for your kind introduction. Welcome today to this webinar to give you a soft landing into the Netherlands. And of course, banking is also a part of doing business, and especially for a foreign company, that can be very, very tricky in a new country where you're not familiar with the do's and don'ts. My name is Floris van Wicht. I'm sorry for my voice. I'm having a little bit of a cold. My name is Floris van Wicht. I've been working for Rabobank for about 15 years now in various roles. I've been helping international clients set up cash management structures. And for the last 4 years, I've been leading the international business advisory department at Inbound Clients Desk. And it's a desk that we specifically set up for international companies to help them onboard at Rabobank. So Rabobank is one of the three major banks in the Netherlands. In a contrary to other banks, we are a cooperative bank, so we don't have any shareholders. We only have members. About 9.1 million customers in the Netherlands. So over half of the Dutch population is banking with Rabobank. On the private side, we are one of the biggest mortgage providers in the Netherlands. And also on the business side, a lot of companies do bank with us. Internationally, we have more of a food and agricultural strategy. So that's also our heritage. We are founded as a food and ag cooperative, where we help companies to grow over 200 years ago. But nowadays in the Netherlands, we are a full all finance bank. We help all clients in all sectors. But internationally, we still are a very big player in the food and ag sector, and we're financing companies in banking for food. So our inbound clients desk is helping foreign companies to land within our bank. We really recognize the importance of foreign companies that are active in the Netherlands. From hundreds of years ago, the Netherlands is a very small country based on trade, and it's very important to stay open to all international companies that are looking to expand into the Netherlands. That is why we set up our desk to help those companies. We are helping them as a single point of contact. So if you are applying for a account at Rabobank, we will guide you through that whole process from first point of contact up until the accounts are opened and you are being serviced in the right way. Then we hand you over to our local account management team in the region where you will be banking with. So on an annual basis, our desk handles about 750 applications. We do onboard about 10 to 15% of those applications. That seems a little bit strict. But then again, we do have some criteria as an inbound desk or as Rabobank on the people that we can onboard. So what do we look for in a company? First of all, they have to act within our strategic frameworks. So either banking for the Netherlands or banking for food. That means that we are looking for clients that are creating substance in the Netherlands, not only setting up a BV or another Dutch subsidiary, but also having personnel active in the company, local management, and there has to come smoke out of the chimney, so to say, in the Netherlands. So we're not open for business for shell companies. And last but not least is we also look at the complexity of compliance. So how is the organization structured internationally? What compliance triggers might be hit? And also the business that you intend to do with Rabobank. So how does typically an onboarding process look like? So first of all, we do have an online application form that we use. I will share this in the slides, the link to our landing page. There you can apply for an account online. After that application, we will contact you to discuss further steps, and we will ask you to send us a organization chart, a business plan, and a filled application form. Based upon that information, we will plan a call with you to go over your needs, to introduce ourselves, to get acquainted. And after that, we will send you a list of information that we need to actually start the KYC process. So that's phase 2. We will send you a custom list of information on each entity in the group that we need to start onboarding you. So phase 3 is the actual KYC research that will be done with our centralized department all over the Netherlands. Our colleagues are very specialized in doing research. So once they have finalized their work, we can then open up accounts and make sure that you have access to the accounts, and also provide you with the necessary other products such as insurance, which we are one of the biggest intermediaries in the Netherlands, but also pension plan. If you want to set that up for your employees in the Netherlands, we can also help you with that. And after that, we then hand you over to a relationship manager in the area that you will be banking. So, for instance, if you want to decide to move to Hengelo, to the eastern part of the Netherlands, and we find a relationship manager for you over there that can help you further grow your company. So what sets us apart? I think we are the only Dutch bank with our dedicated inbound desk. We help you from the first point of contact up until you are already set and go with your accounts. We are a small team. We have short lines of communications, and we have proven to speed up the process of onboarding in that way. And another big plus is that we can outsource the identification of the directors. So there is no need for a physical appointment in the Netherlands. We can do the whole onboarding process from a distance. We do work with a onboarding fee that's set up for the extra cost that we have for international compliance. It's typically a one-off onboarding fee of 5,000 euros that we only charge if there is a successfully completed process of onboarding. So my colleagues and I are really happy to help you further with your endeavors in the Netherlands. You can contact us at our email address stated on the right-hand side of the slide. As Marie-José mentioned, we will share the slides with you. In those slides are also 2 quick links to our onboarding manual, where all the information that I just told you is also shared with you. And the online application link is also shared with you, so you can start your application online. So thank you so much for attending this webinar. Hopefully, in this short time, I made it a little bit clearer for you how to do business in the Netherlands. And I'd like to hand over word to Loreen. She will share some experiences she had herself in setting up a business in the Netherlands. So Loreen, thank you so much. The floor is yours.
Thank so
I don't know if it's me, but we cannot hear you very well, Loreen.
No, I also cannot hear. Yeah, now.
There you go.
okay.
Still not.
Now we're facing some trouble hearing you, Loreen.
Do you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, now we hear you.
Thank you, Loreen.
Pleasure. Just some settings changes. All right. So in the next 5 minutes or so, I'll share with you, my story, and maybe that brings to life also a little bit about what the expert speakers have shared with you. But from my side, I want to say first, congratulations to you for being at this phase. It's a daunting task. It's not a simple matter to expand your business to a foreign land. There's so much that one has to think about. So it really is a bold step. And I wish you also well on that journey. But the first thing I want to say to you, as you will see from our story, is it's something we talk about in Africa, where I'm from. If you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go together. And in a business, we're here for the long term. So if you want to go far, work with a network, and that's what we did. And I want to share some of that with you today. So I'm Dr. Lorien van Aswegen. I'm an engineer, but also an industrial behavioralist, a bit of a strange combination. But in my world, it works because I'm an automation expert, and we work with people and tech. So we bring people in contact with tech and make adoption easy. So being both an engineer and an organizational psychologist actually helps in my daily life. And our company, just a little bit about us, Smartech NXT, we are in South Africa and in the Netherlands, as you've heard, and we service clients around the world with automation. The two products that we focus on is, I want to say, our bread and butter. Our everyday job is building software robots for clients to solve their automation needs. But the reason we're in the Netherlands is because of a high-tech new invention that we brought to life, which is called Proofnets, which is our blockchain verification solutions. And I think this talks a little bit also about, when one makes a choice to expand and as to, where you're going to expand to, your business strategy does give you a clue. In our case, we were able to keep our successful RPA business going while bringing the new development to life in the Netherlands with high-tech partners. So our journey from South Africa to the Netherlands and now fully integrated. I'm not going to go into all of the detail, but I want to share with you a few big highlights that hopefully help you on your way. So the first thing when coming to the Netherlands, it could be true for any company or country one expands to, there are literally 1,000 ways that you can walk and travel. And you can end up going in huge circles. The legislation is heavy. It's not always obvious. And what we found is that an excellent starting point for us to make this journey straighter was the Netherlands Foreign Investment Agency. You'll get my details at the end. You're welcome to contact me. I can give you names of people that were involved and who are very happy to speak with you there as well. But the Netherlands Foreign Investment Agency is a really good starting point. It was for us because we are a high-tech company and we were invited to participate in the innovation startup program that is facilitated through the network of Invest in Holland. Invest in Holland is about 15 plus facilitation agencies, includes economic development agencies, really heavily supported and worked through with the Ministry of Economic Affairs in the country here called the RVO. And one of the facilitating regional agencies, the East Netherlands Development Agency, or as we call it here, OOSTNL, they became our primary facilitator into the Netherlands. Now, why is it important to have a facilitator? Well, in this case, there's something called the Soft Landing Program that Marie-José mentioned right at the beginning. And what the OOSTNL did for us was, instead of us running through big hoops, we're able to make the journey quite simple for us through this idea of a soft landing program. In essence, it all starts with a place to land. And we landed with the World Trade Center, who is a key partner of the soft landing program. And from there, a huge network of other partners, some of which are on the call today. And I'll share some of that with you in the next slide. So what is the soft landing program and why was it useful for us? Well, the first thing is you cannot get away with it's tax, whether it's payroll, whether it's finance, whether it's it's establishment, whether it's your new visa, you cannot get away from a mountain of bureaucracy and paperwork. And to navigate your way through the Dutch bureaucratic system, even though a lot has been done to make it simpler and the websites are amazing, I can assure you, you need a helping hand. And the East Netherlands Development Agency, as with all the other agencies as well, through their soft landing program, assign an internationalization manager to you and your company to literally walk you through, getting your immigration sorted out, getting many other aspects of your application to be here sorted out. And understand, yes, your business is moving, but a business revolves around people. So people need to be able to also move. So this involves migration of people. And then, of course, there's your whole business. So the very starting point of this A to B and making it smooth was the World Trade Center. And the World Trade Center, then once you have an actual office address, and you've been authorized to bring your business to the Netherlands by the authorities, then the magic and the fun starts, because then you need to be incorporated into what is called the KVK, or the Chamber of Commerce in the Netherlands. And once you have this incorporation, many other things can happen. So where did we find the partners? And I'll list only a few of the most important partners there. There were many more that supported us on the way. But having a good notary is vital. And you heard today from the team that to choose and get advice about the structure of your company is as important as just the incorporation. Do you do a holding company? Do you do an operational company? Do you do what type of structure ultimately determines many things. It determines your shareholding arrangement. It determines how the directors are remunerated. Each step determines the next step, and the consequences aren't obvious until you really work with a good team. And within the soft landing program, we were able to find good partners for that. Of course, you must have a bank account. You can go nowhere, as Flora spoke. Not only, once again, for your business, you as an individual, you cannot get a local municipal burger citizen number without a bank account. And so there are many things that have to be organized around banking and having an excellent internationalization. A real person. We had a real person that could help us, that could speak with us and take us by the hand, have a meeting, have a coffee, and say, this is the next step for your banking, both business and personally. And then, of course, in the last one, what makes the soft landing program really soft? Once again, we are people. You're bringing yourself or your staff with children. And there, we also got great support, both personally from the network within the World Trade Center, but also in OostNL, to introduce us to international schools for our children to make the transition, and later on for them to also go to a local transitional school where they could transition into the local system. However, having said that, English is really a strong competence in the Netherlands with most people. We live on the far east of the Netherlands, quite far away from Amsterdam, closer to Germany. But even here, English is well spoken, well understood, and as a medium for business and even for you to integrate, we found it really easy to integrate. Having said that, though, the culture between South Africans and Dutch aren't too different. So it's a cultural fit. Also was easy. However, the English language helped us a lot, especially to get established straight away in business. And even having simple things like meeting someone to show you a home. When these conversations can happen in English, don't underestimate the value of that ease of settling. And then, because we're here to do business, of course, once again, the World Trade Center was able to help us to connect our new product with innovative partners, connect us with people that could help us with our IP protection, patenting and IP protection, trademarking. And I've put in a day up there. They're not on the call today, but a strong partner of the World Trade Center Twente Business Club as well, because really that is an important aspect when you're thinking about your innovative solutions that you want to bring to market. And then we were also really well supported by Damstay, for example, with non-disclosure agreements, with thinking about how you're going to work across the border, and innovative partners like Novelty. Why across the border? We find that the Netherlands is the gateway to Europe. There's a massive incentive by both the economic ministry as well as all of the development agencies, as well as World Trade Center itself and all the universities, to connect you to a stream of innovative partners. Not only Germany, which is a massive economic powerhouse, one of the largest in Europe, but beyond. And for us, the choice was interesting because while our basic everyday life revolves around automation, like software robots that is used everywhere by lawyers, by banks, by our clients vary. Our new innovation was really focused on the manufacturing industry. And a large proportion of the world depends on Germany and for their manufacturing capabilities and their machinery. So the combination of being on the East was a really good one for us as a doorway from the Netherlands through Germany and into the rest of Europe. So I can tell you a lot more about the soft landing program itself, but Marie-José will make sure that you get all the links. Maybe just the final word from my side is to say that there is no end to the lengths that the people both on this call and in these teams will go to help connect you to the right person, even if it's just to think through a problem. So the journey isn't smooth. By no means. There will be challenges, but I always say that if you spend enough time thinking about the problem you're trying to solve, then the answer presents itself. And often just having a sparring partner to work with helps a lot. And these networks help tremendously to get, to spar about, what are my real issues on tax, on payroll, on finance, all of these things, on innovation, etc., export. And once you work through the problems, there's someone available to also help take the next step. So that's my story. I'll invite you, of course, once you have my details, you're more than welcome to contact me. We work quite often with the NFIA and with the economic agencies to share with others how, especially from Africa, how to expand into the Netherlands from our experience and our journey. And before I hand back to Marie-José, who will take over from here and close off with Q&A, I just want to wish you all the very best in your endeavors with your expansion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Loreen, and all the expert speakers for this clear story. It's already a journey, and like the journey has already started. Now I would like to proceed with the Q&A. I've seen there are some questions put into the chat. My colleague Aaron will direct the questions to the right speaker. Aaron, go ahead, please.
Yes, Marie-José. Yes, Marie-José. Hi there, everyone. Thank you again for participating in our webinar. We have one question, of course, in the chat, and that question I think is for directed at Jessica. And that question is from a person called Gente. How long does it typically take to arrange a notary appointment? So, Jessica, if you can please shine some light.
Yes, well, that is something that's basically normally done by the civil law notaries, but I can tell you that it goes quite fast because they also can schedule a digital meeting, right? So it all starts there, and that can be within 1 week. And the steps afterwards, yeah, that really depends on the whole structure you want to have here, want to build here in the Netherlands. So that's something I unfortunately cannot further elaborate on, but the first appointment can be made, well, within a few days or next week even. That goes fast.
Okay, then Jessica, thank you for your answer. Janet, did that answer help you? If so, say yes in the chat. If not, maybe you can ask another question. But for the others, if you guys have any other questions, you guys can raise your hand. Oh, there is Brandon.
Yes. Okay.
Just wanted to understand if Netherlands is looking out for specific business in service or products, industries, or any other industries that can be set up there. Well, so Brandon, are you searching for a company to host you, or you're just searching for, I don't know. I see Janet, thank you. Okay, then Jessica, thank you for answering.
You're welcome.
Okay, I see a hand raised by Matthew.
Matthew or anyone else who has a question, please raise your hand. We can unmute you and you can ask your question, please.
You are
Aaron, we
muted.
cannot hear you. Yeah.
Do not echo. Yeah, can you hear me now? I think I have a question for you in the chat box. Did you see it? Or should I read it for you? It's from Janet. When it comes to foreign highly skilled employees and associated tax benefits, does foreign mean anything outside of Netherlands or especially outside of EU? Is there any minimum wage rule for migration from outside the EU? Maybe you can shine some light, Arjen.
Yes, I see some different questions. I see we have a question about foreign highly skilled employees.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, does foreign mean anyone outside of the Netherlands? Actually, the 30% ruling for foreign highly skilled employees is applicable for anyone who has been living further than 150 kilometers from the Dutch border. So this means that people living in Germany close to the Dutch border are not eligible. And also people living in Belgium, for example, will probably not be eligible. But all other foreign people who have not lived closer than 150 kilometers from the Dutch border are in principle eligible to the 30% ruling. So that's I hope a question, one answer, and then I see there's also a minimum wage rule. For the 30% ruling, there is a minimum wage rule, which is around 45,000 euro annual salary. For starters with who are younger than 30 years old, this amount is a bit lower. I think it is around 30 or 35,000 euro annual salary. But for migration from outside the EU, there are, I think, different amounts applicable, but that is not my specialty. That's not a tax rule, but I think it has to do more with permits.
Yeah, I can answer that. Yeah, it also has to do with permits, but at least the minimum wage must be paid in the Netherlands, because that is a special, a strict mandatory law that you must always actually apply. So yeah, I can be quite clear to that question. The minimum wage, Dutch wage, must be paid Yes.
Thank you, Jessica.
All right, sounds perfect. Thank you, Arjen and Jessica, for your answer. I saw okay, thank you in the chat, so well, good explain. I see another question, and the question is, can you tell us the tax policy for companies in the Netherlands, corporate tax rate, question mark?
I can try to tell something about that.
All right,
So
perfect.
we do have a corporate income tax in the Netherlands, as I told also about when I told about the innovation box. The corporate tax rate currently in the Netherlands is for the profits up to 200,000 euro per year is at 19%, and at bigger profits above 200,000 euro, it will be at 25.8%. So that are the common corporate income tax rate. So in answer to the question in general, we do have a tax policy which involves a corporate income tax. We have a wage tax on salaries. There are social securities due on salaries, and there is a VAT, which is applicable in all of Europe, in the European Union. So that are the main tax laws that you have to take into account.
Right, thank you, Arjen. Hope that answers your question. I see another question in the chat. To start your next steps, will we get all the requirements and the step-by-step on the next steps on the website? Oh, that's for the World Trade Center. Yeah, normally for the soft landing, maybe Marie-José can shine some light. How does the steps go?
Yes, the soft landing program provides you like a navigator to the order in when to take the next steps. So yeah, to answer it in short, yes, we will inform you about all the requirements in cooperation with the service experts, the speakers of today, of course. And the step-by-step navigation. We will support you on that. Does it answer your question? Oh, I think maybe Loreen would like to comment on that.
Yeah, so in addition to that, Marie-José, there's also the step-by-step on the soft landing pages of the agencies as well, like OCNL, but also NFIA. So there's that. And I wanted to, I see that Gerald Korenrom from OCNL is in fact on the call.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you could give 1 minute to Brendan's question. So Brendan asks, just wanted to understand if the Netherlands is looking out for specific businesses in service or product industries or any other business that can be set up there. And I think he's probably well qualified to answer that.
Yes, Gerald, please.
Someone just has to take him off mute if please possible.
Yeah. Can somebody take Gerald Korenrom from OCNL off mute? I found you.
Yeah, it's unmuted now.
Hi there. Good morning, at least for everybody who's in Europe, and good day to everybody around the world. So I'm Gerald Korenrom, part of OCNL, which was already mentioned several times during the presentation. We support international companies with their landing in Europe. I also was noticing the question of Brendan already, but then. So if you look at specific businesses, typically if you look at also the taxing scheme, I think that goes to show specific businesses that have a particular interest. So I think that if you look at innovation box and these kind of activities, you will quickly see that there is definitely a favor for companies which are driving R&D, which are evolving around R&D type of activities. So in that sense, I think that's a good first direction. Other than that, from OCNL, we focus on supporting businesses in health, food, tech, and energy. and that's quite a broad sense. And if your company is making an impact in terms of sustainability, in terms of a sustainable economy, we're always happy to help. Also for other companies, we're always open for questions in that sense, and we can point you in the right direction. And in general, we are open for any business in the Netherlands.
Okay,
I hope
thank
that
you.
answers your question, Brendan. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
Okay, thank you, Gerald.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your contribution. Very spontaneously, but very important partner is Easternl, OCNL in this soft landing program. I see that Mr. De Souza has raised his hand. I will unmute you now so you can ask your question. Just a second, please.
Still unmute himself.
You need to unmute yourself, Mr. De Souza.
I'm unmuted now. Thank you so much. It's not a question, but this is from World Trade Center in Goa, India. 8 of my members have joined you, Marie, today. And I would just like to say a point of appreciation. All the steps that you took today, right from the soft landing to, Lawrence, experience, RoboBank, hand-holding, Slaughter, Yasika saying about, the law. It gave us an all-round impression of exactly what we would face if businesses are to be set in the Netherlands. So thank you very much for having this webinar. My members appreciate that. And we look forward to more such interactive meetings with you in World Trade Center 20 and to increase bilateral trade between India and the Netherlands with more emphasis on Goa. And in case you have any sort of suggestions which we can do for Goa, we'll be much appreciative of that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. De Souza. We were very happy to hear and receive your words, and we very look forward to strengthen the relations between India and the Netherlands, and we will for sure do our best on that. I think now it's time to make some concluding remarks. I repeat, the recording, the presentations, and the contact details will be shared later today. So please feel free, don't hesitate to contact the speakers, contact our World Trade Center, contact Easternl. Thank you everybody for attending. We look very much forward to welcome you in the Netherlands. That's the final thing that I can say. Reach out to us if you need any more assistance, and wishing you a wonderful day around the globe. Thank you very much. Goodbye.